Bright, vibrant colors in your favorite snacks and drinks might catch your eye, but have you ever wondered what's behind those shades? Chemicals like Red 3, Red 40, Yellow 5, and Yellow 6 aren't just there to make food look pretty, they come with a controversial history and a potential impact on your health. From links to cancer and hyperactivity in kids to concerns about long-term cognitive effects, these dyes have sparked heated debates worldwide. So, what are these chemicals really doing to your body, and is it time to rethink what's on your plate? Let's start with what artificial food dyes actually are. Artificial food dyes are synthetic chemicals created to make food look more appealing. You've probably seen their work without even realizing it. Those neon-colored candies, brightly frosted cupcakes, or even the golden yellow hue of certain chips owe their vibrancy to these dyes. Unlike natural colorings made from things like beets or turmeric, artificial dyes are designed in a lab, primarily using petroleum. Yup, the same stuff used to make fuel. Here's a bit of history. People have been adding color to food for centuries, but the first artificial dyes were developed in 1856, derived from coal tar. Over time, petroleum-based dyes took over because they're cheaper, last longer, and produce more consistent colors. So while the shift from natural to synthetic made sense for manufacturers, it wasn't exactly done with your health in mind. And when you think of artificial food dyes, your mind probably jumps straight to candies and sodas, and you wouldn't be wrong. But these vibrant colors are, in a way, more products than most of us realize. Let's see some of the most common dyes approved for use here in the US and where they typically show up. Take Red Dye 3, which has been recently banned as an example. It's the one responsible for the cherry red hues in candies, cake gels, and popsicles. Then there's Red 40, one of the most widely used dyes in the country. You'll find it in sports drinks, brightly colored cereals, candy, and even condiments like ketchup. Yellow 5 and Yellow 6 give us those sunny golden tones in chips, popcorn, baked goods, and sauces. But here's the kicker. These dyes aren't just in snacks. You might even see them in something as unexpected as pickles. Meanwhile, Blue 1 and Blue 2 pop up in ice creams, soups, and even snack foods, giving them that bright, unnatural blue tint. And here's a surprising twist. Artificial dyes aren't limited to food. Medications like syrups and pills often contain these chemicals to make them look more appealing, because apparently even medicine needs a splash of color. It's everywhere, and chances are you've consumed more of these dyes than you think. If this surprised you, just wait, there's more. Subscribe to our channel as we uncover the hidden dangers of these colorful chemicals, from cancer risks to their impact on behavior and health. You won't want to miss what's next. Now, let's discuss what health concerns these colors bring to your plate. One of the biggest concerns is cancer. One of the most infamous dyes, Red 3, has been linked to thyroid cancer in rats. This connection was discovered decades ago, and after years of debate, it was recently banned in the United States. But here's the thing, it's still being phased out, so you might find it in certain products for a while. Other dyes like Red 40 and Yellow 6 haven't been banned, but raise eyebrows because they contain carcinogenic compounds like benzene. What about behavior, especially in kids? Studies have found links between artificial dyes and hyperactivity, particularly in children with ADHD. In fact, parents have reported noticeable changes in their kids after eating foods packed with these dyes. One standout is Yellow 5, which has been associated with mood swings, restlessness, and even trouble sleeping. Then there are the lesser-known risks tied to blue dyes. Animal studies suggest that they could impact cognitive development and even affect nerve cell health. While these studies aren't definitive, they add to the growing concerns about the long-term effects of food dyes on our brains and bodies. When it comes to food dyes, the rules you live by depend on where you are in the world. In the United States, regulations around artificial food dyes are noticeably lenient compared to other countries. For instance, in Europe, many of the dyes that are common in American products either require warning labels or are outright banned. Imagine buying a bag of candy in the UK. It might come with a label that warns the dyes inside could affect children's behavior. That's a level of transparency you don't see in the US. California has taken steps to catch up, banning certain dyes like Red 40 and Yellow 5 from public schools. It's a step in the right direction, but it highlights how state-level efforts are compensating for federal inaction. For a while, the FDA relied on studies dating back to the 60s and 70s, long before modern science could uncover things like the effects on behavior and long-term health. Red 3, for example. Despite being linked to thyroid cancer in rats decades ago, the ban didn't happen until 2025. If these dyes are so controversial, you might wonder why they're still everywhere. The short answer? They're cheap, convenient, and give food a visual appeal that's hard to replicate naturally. Artificial dyes are much less expensive than natural alternatives like beet juice or turmeric, and they create colors that pop in ways that nature often can't match. Think about how a neon blue sports drink stands out on the shelf. That's not something you'd get with spirulina. Then there's the influence of the food industry itself. Lobbying plays a huge role in keeping these dyes in circulation. Large corporations push back against stricter regulations, arguing that the dyes are safe based on outdated studies. They know that switching to natural alternatives would cost more and likely cut into their profits. It's a system where money often outweighs health concerns. But we, as consumers, are also part of the equation. Let's be honest, bright, colorful food is more appealing, especially to kids. Whether it's a box of rainbow cereal or a vividly frosted cupcake, those colors grab our attention and make us want to buy. Companies know this and capitalize on it. So even though awareness about the risks of food dyes is growing, demand for visually appealing products keeps them on the shelves. There's also some natural alternatives to artificial dyes. Beet juice is a fantastic natural source of red, while turmeric offers a bright yellow hue. Spirulina, a type of algae, can create a lovely greenish-blue color. These plant-based options aren't just safer, they can even add a bit of nutritional value to your food, unlike artificial dyes that are only there for aesthetics. That said, natural dyes do have their challenges. They're often more expensive to produce, which can make products costlier. Plus, the colors they create aren't as vibrant or stable as artificial ones, which can be a downside for manufacturers. For example, beet juice might fade over time, or turmeric might alter the taste of a dish. But for those of us who care about what we're putting into our bodies, those minor trade-offs are well worth it. Avoiding artificial food dyes and shifting to natural alternatives might seem a bit tricky at first, but it's absolutely doable with a few simple strategies. The first step? Start reading ingredient labels carefully. Dyes like Red 40, Yellow 5, and Blue 1 are often listed by name, but sometimes they appear as FD&C, followed by a color and number. Example, FD&C Red number 40. If you see these on a product, it's a clear sign the food contains artificial coloring. Anything that looks unnaturally vibrant is worth a second glance. Stick to whole, unprocessed foods whenever you can. Fresh fruits, vegetables, grains, and meats don't come with hidden dyes, so they're naturally safer choices. Many natural and organic brands also pride themselves on avoiding artificial ingredients, so exploring these options can make a big difference. Look for products labeled "No artificial colors" or "Dye-free." When dining out, don't hesitate to ask about the ingredients. Chain restaurants often have nutritional information available online, which can help you spot dishes free from dyes. If you're at a smaller restaurant, simpler dishes are often a safer bet. A freshly grilled chicken breast or a plain salad is less likely to contain hidden dyes than a neon-colored dessert. It's all about being informed and intentional in your choices. The future of food dyes is heading toward a more transparent and health-conscious era. With the FDA starting to review the safety of dyes like Red 40 and Yellow 5 and already banned Red 30, it's clear that people are no longer willing to settle for outdated standards. While the transition won't happen overnight, the shift is already underway. Ultimately, the power lies in our hands as informed consumers to push for safer, cleaner, and more natural food choices. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below, and if you're finding this helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and explore the other videos on your screen. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.